Oh, got a balance. Okay. Some hefty shoes. So I got an email from a guy here in town that says he has a pair of BMW Z Coupes. A matching pair actually, and he was curious if I wanted to do a video about them. And it's always nice to find people as weird as me out there, especially one that's only a mile away from me, as why would you have a pair of these cars, famously known as the clown shoe for its ridiculous shoe-like shape, and do anything other than stand in your driveway doing exactly this? So that ends today's video. No, not really. These coupes are weird not just because of their looks, but also how they were brought into existence, as well as their crazy pricing. Currently, there's one of these M coupes, like the one on my right shoe, except it's the newer one with the S54 inline 6, and they're asking $48,000 for it on Autotrader.com, which is about a $20,000 premium over a comparable convertible. Doesn't make any sense. For that kind of money, you could buy a certified pre-owned 3 or 4-year-old M3, or stretch your dollars a little bit and get a fantastic brand new M2. I get that classic cars can be worth a lot of money, but these things aren't even that old. Now, admittedly, the cars that I'm wearing today are the more affordable versions. The one being on the left is, oh no wait, right, left, I wrote different. All right. Now, okay, all right. Now, admittedly, the cars that I'm wearing today are the more affordable versions, one being a 2000 with the S52 inline 6, the other being a regular Z3 coupe. But these things still sell for a huge premium over the convertible versions, way more than a similarly powered 3 Series coupe or an M3. And what can you do with these other than stand here like this? And I'm already getting a leg cramp. Oh man, calves are burning. Oh. This is a trick the producers taught me, because I used to wear sunglasses all the time, but if you just stare at the sun with your eyes closed, which sounds like a really healthy thing to do, your eyes adjust. All right. So the Z3 Coupe, the M Coupe, whatever you call these things, came out after BMW engineers secretly built one without any of the higher-ups knowing. The convertibles weren't very stiff initially in the handling department, and I guess the folks at the engineering department liked big butts, because this thing has one crazy badonkadonk. Some donk, yeah. So, a big rear end on these cars. And instead of giving it the normal coupe lines, they made it into a little hatch. Although it doesn't gain any useful things like a back seat, and the cargo space is smaller than a Fiat 500. But having a hard roof made this car more rigid, and after building it in secret, they showed it to their bosses and begged them to build it, and somehow that actually worked. They started making them. Now, they didn't sell too many of them, obviously, because who would buy this over the M3? But they now have a giant cult status, and people freak out about them. Freak out! The car, in my mind, that most compares to this is the E-Type Jag, as it has a weird similar roofline with their coupes along with convertibles, but unlike these, the prettier convertibles are worth way more. So this really is a head scratcher for me, as there are so many weird cars out there that depreciate normally, but this British-inspired car from a German brand that was built in South Carolina is one of the hottest old BMWs to have right now. I know this car is rare, but that doesn't necessarily make it valuable. They made more of these than my 1983 Chrysler LeBaron Woody convertible, and that car is so worthless I buried it in my mechanic's backyard. But maybe driving them will change my mind.
Wait, who said anything about driving them?
Well, that's what you do in a review. You drive the cars. I assumed this was okay?
Fine.
Reluctantly, yes. I should probably put on my shoes first. Yes. I gotta show you this before I drive. Look at these floor mats. No, they're not spotted. Oh, BPM's still beeping at me. They're not spotted by accident. It's not stained. That's from the factory. Leopard print floor mats. All right, let's go. We gotta get lower. There we go. Wait. Look at that. The dog net's up on this thing. Okay. Here we go. A dog net. So even though you have rear cargo room, it doesn't mean you have more leg room or you're able to move this back further, because it's still the same partition as if there were a soft top back there. It's really not practical at all. Now I'm driving the normal Z3 Coupe first, just because it's mostly stock. Has the same generic engine found in all the 3 Series of the day, and the Z3 convertible, of course. 123,000 miles and no lights are on. Been a while since I've driven an old BMW with no warning lights. And cold air, it's great. Turn it down so you can hear me. Oh wow. So it does have a sunroof, but all it does is pop up. It does not retract back and forth. There's no way for it to retract into this roof line because it's curved so weirdly. Definitely feels tighter than any Z3 I've driven. Wow. Yes, he's got a nice little curvy neighborhood. You can see how you could really enjoy taking this to work every day. As a dentist, he's a dentist. You'd have to drive a car like this to enjoy life versus going to the dentist office and getting so angry because people won't floss. I can definitely feel the handling difference. There's a Buick Riata. So, little common Z3 characteristic, and this thing has it too, in the Coupe, are the seat motors. They wear out and it jumps a tooth, and then you just have a constant jiggle here. So I've got about a ½ inch of play in the seat at its current position. But other than that, this car's really nice. Yeah, this is really nice. I'm just kind of curious how much more amped that M Coupe is. But it's smoking. Valve cover gasket?
Probably.
Oh. That one likes to chirp.
It was leaking a little bit.
Yeah? I swear, I didn't do anything.
No, I know you didn't.
Yeah, that's a BMW valve cover gasket when it gets to the exhaust manifold. Seen that a time or two, or 100. Sorry. Onto the Coupe, the M Coupe. Look at the wheels on this sucker. It's deep dish for that donk-a-donk. It's got a old Porsche Turbo rock guard on it. Did you put that on?
Yeah, I put it on. It's magnetic.
It just peels right off. Huh. That's awesome. We'll put it back on. I'm gonna go drive. I want that for all of my cars. I swear that wasn't my fault. He's generously letting me drive the M Coupe now, even though the other car is smoking. This one has one light on for the brake pad warning. These sensors fail left and right on these BMWs, so I probably have brakes. Oh man, this thing is stiff. Now the owner told me he bought this car from a crazy man who was selling all of his possessions to live in a van, and that it was heavily modified. It's obviously been lowered, but I don't really know what else. And I placed the camera right in my line of sight for driving. What am I doing? It's your first time doing this, Tyler? Come on. There, okay, much better. 147,000 miles. It's making a weird noise in the rear end of this thing. Like there's a bearing back there that's about to go, or something with the rear differential. The M series cars of this era are so funny. They have this two-tone interior. This one's the more subtle blue with black, but then there's the red one. Also the ostrich. You ever see those BMW Z3 seats with fake ostrich? Whoa! got some giddy up. Oh man, it's all so stiff as hell. Got a clown car suspension on this clown shoe. Okay, I'm hitting the highway on-ramp. This thing has the same S52 as my girlfriend's M3 that we are shelling. Let's see if I feel anything different as far as handling. Find the gear. Yeah, it is definitely stiffer. This thing's been lowered, so it's really hard to tell how much of this sharper handling's from the chassis or the lowering, but obviously totally different car. Yeah. And definitely a different exhaust. This thing sounds a lot more muscly. Manly clown shoe. Did I just spit? Yeah, I think I just spit.
How'd that go?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. It's making a loud racket in the rear though, like wheel bearing or differential or something.
Yeah, differential, I think.
Yeah. What? I barely fit. Look at that. Look at that rear end. Oh, it chirped again. Must like me. Well, I'm kind of seeing the light a little bit. You just really have to be a guy that loves hot hatches and really likes Sir Mix-a-Lot's greatest hit from 1986. Baby got back. Thank you for watching.